Right now, there's an 87% chance you're destroying your own success and you don't even realize it. By the time this video ends, you'll never self-sabotage the same way again. I'm gonna show you how your thoughts, your emotions, and your behaviors, they're all interconnected and how they're impacting your success. But most importantly, you're gonna learn super easy techniques to rewire your mind, and so you can overcome that fear and doubt that's been holding you back and develop real confidence in yourself. Now you might be thinking, this sounds great, but does this really apply to me? Trust me, self-sabotage is sneaky. It shows up in ways most people, they don't even recognize it. So what does self-sabotage actually look like in your everyday life? It's not always as obvious as you might think. For most of us, it's hiding in plain sight. It's that project you've been meaning to start for weeks, but somehow you always find a reason to push it to tomorrow. It's that voice in your head that whispers, you're not good enough, whenever you're about to try something new. It's seeing an amazing opportunity and then convincing yourself that it's probably not worth applying. For me, it was starting a dozen side hustles and never following through on a single one. I'd get super excited for the first week, tell all of my friends my great idea, buy the training material I needed, and then nothing. The excitement would fade and I'd move on to the next shiny object. Or maybe you're stuck in a comfort zone that's actually pretty toxic for you. Like a job that you hate, but you don't want to leave because, well, at least it's stable, or that relationship that drains you, but it feels better than being alone. So this is where we need to be real with ourselves. You say you want success, but then you scroll on TikTok for 3 hours, talk yourself out of action. Listen, I'm not here to give you a lecture. We've all been there. I spent an entire weekend binge watching Queso playing PC games and scaring the crap out of himself. That's self-sabotage in action. But why do we keep getting in our own way? Have you ever wondered what's really going on in here? The truth is, self-sabotage comes from a much deeper place than just being lazy or lacking discipline. Those are just the symptoms, not the cause. At its core, self-sabotage is often driven by fear. And this could be fear of failure or, surprisingly, fear of success. Yeah, that's right. Sometimes we are more afraid of succeeding and what that might mean for our lives than we are of failing. And by the way, a lot of this stems from a deep subconscious belief that we picked up along the way. Things like, I'm not good enough, people like me don't succeed, or I don't deserve good things. These beliefs might sound familiar because they've been running in the background of our minds for years. And for me, I realized I had this weird belief that if I became successful, people would expect more from me than I could deliver. So I'd self-sabotage myself before I could be exposed as a fraud. Sounds ridiculous when I say it out loud, but these beliefs, they had real power over me for a long time. Past experiences and trauma can also play a huge role too. Maybe you tried something similar before and it just didn't work out. Or maybe someone important in your life told you that you couldn't do it. These experiences create mental blocks that feel very real. There's also this constant inner conflict between wanting to grow and wanting to stay safe. Your brain is literally wired to keep you safe and comfortable, even if that comfort is holding you back. And here's where things really get interesting and where you can actually start making changes. Once we understand where that comes from, the next step is seeking how it plays out in our day-to-day choices. Because it's not random, it is a chain reaction. So let me break this down in super simple terms. Your thoughts create your emotions drive your behaviors, and your behaviors shape your results. It's kind of like dominoes falling one after another. Okay, let's say you have this thought that I'm going to fail at a project. That thought creates feelings of anxiety and dread, right? Well, those feelings are going to work against you and cause you to avoid working on the project. And avoiding the project guarantees you won't succeed with it. But, and this is a game changer, if you change your initial thought, you change the entire chain reaction. I used to be terrified of public speaking. I even got a C in public speaking in college. I was really terrible at it. Every time I thought about giving a presentation, my mind would say, you're going to forget everything and look stupid. This created massive anxiety, which made me either over-prepare to the point of robotic delivery or find excuses to back out. So what happened? A lot of missed opportunities, shame, and blame. But one day I told myself I had enough of living like this. I still remember the first thing I told myself when I made that decision. I told myself,
I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
Well, okay, it didn't exactly go like that. But basically, I told myself I didn't have to be perfect and not to beat myself up when things didn't go my way. And you know what? My delivery eventually got better, my anxiety decreased, and I started building confidence. And I actually started volunteering for public speaking opportunities, which led to my job as a corporate trainer, speaking in front of thousands of people. Same situation, completely different outcome. All because I changed a single thought. Okay, so now you understand the mechanics. Let's talk about some of the common patterns. Do any of these sound like you? Believe it or not, self-sabotage follows predictable patterns, and spotting which one you fall into can be very eye-opening. First, there's the perfectionist. This was totally me in college. I'd wait until I had the perfect idea, the perfect plan, the perfect conditions, which meant, well, I never actually started. My buddy would finish 3 messy but complete projects in the time it took me to perfect just one of my outlines. And guess who got the better results? Then there's the procrastinator. This is the classic I'll do it tomorrow syndrome. The problem is delaying things doesn't reduce stress, it builds it. And then you end up rushing at the last minute, doing crummy work, which reinforces the belief that you suck. How about the people pleaser? Always saying yes to everyone else's priorities while your own goals collect dust. My friend Jake was the classic people pleaser. I remember one time when he got so busy helping his coworkers with their projects that he actually missed the deadline for applying to the management position he had been waiting for years.
Ian Perkins.
And finally, there's the escapist. See if you can relate to this. When things get tough or uncomfortable, do you reach for distractions like social media, Netflix, video games, or even cleaning the house? Yikes. Anything to avoid facing the task that would actually move your life forward. So which pattern sounds like you? Because once you know your pattern, you can start breaking it, and it's actually way easier than you might think. Let me walk you through some super simple techniques that's going to help you stop self-sabotaging and start making real progress. Your first step has to be awareness. You can't change what you don't notice. So start catching yourself in the act. And here's the important part. Don't judge yourself when you do. Just notice. Like, oh, I'm scrolling instead of working on my project. Interesting. I had a friend who started carrying around a small notebook with them, and they put a tally mark every time that they caught themselves in a negative self-talk pattern. She said this simple act of awareness actually helped her reduce it by like 30% in the first week. Next, reframe those limiting beliefs. This is where you get to play editor with the stories that are in your head. So for example, take the I'm not good enough script, flip it, and now reword it as I'm learning and growing every day. Or take the I always quit thing script, flip it, and change it to I'm building my persistence muscle right now. The key to all of this is repetition. I've literally written new beliefs on sticky notes and put them on my bathroom mirror. It feels cheesy at first, but your brain starts to adopt these new stories faster than you might think. Third, and this is critical, take micro actions. Don't wait until you feel motivated or confident. That's backwards. Action creates clarity and momentum, not the other way around. For instance, I was overthinking writing this script for a week. Then one day, I just wrote a single paragraph. I took a break, I watched a video, and then I came back and I wrote another. Within a few hours, I had my rough draft done. Hey, it's simple. Small wins rewire your brain faster than big plans that you never start. Finally, learn some emotional mastery. Do you know the main reason we avoid doing things? It's because they make us feel uncomfortable. But what if you could sit with that discomfort instead of running from it? Try this super simple technique. When you feel resistance to do something important, set a timer for just 2 minutes. Tell yourself you only have to work on it for 2 minutes and then you can stop. Most of the time, once you start, you're going to keep going. And even if you don't, you're teaching your brain that you can handle discomfort. Remember, discomfort is the price of growth. Stop avoiding it and start embracing it. So, after watching this video, I hope you realize that self-sabotage isn't who you are. It's just a pattern, and every pattern can be broken. You're not lazy, you're not unmotivated, and you're not broken. You've just been running on an outdated script. And now you have the tools to rewrite that script. One thought, one emotion, and one action at a time. Okay, so I'm curious, which sabotage pattern do you fall into? Drop it in the comments. Let's shine a light on it. Sometimes just naming it takes away some of its power. And if this woke something up in you, consider subscribing and start showing up for yourself like your future depended on it. Because it does. See you next time.